You are listening to the BlahCade Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Freebus, aka Shut Your Trap. Joining me as always, halfway across the world, Jerry Morgan.
Hello.
Howdy. So
how's it all going today?
I thought I was all set and ready to go for this here podcast, and then it turns out that I wasn't.
Yeah, you deleted you sent to trash a thing that we were going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so a little last minute panic here is me getting all set up. So I apologize for those of you that were actually wanting to view this. You had to wait just a slight touch. So it happens.
It's fine. This is fine.
It happens.
Hello to everyone. If you're watching us at the moment, is there anyone watching us at the moment?
I've got 3 people that are apparently watching us at the moment.
Well, that's good. Hello, everyone.
We have such a large viewership numbers. It's incredible. Right. Our live viewership is not that hot, but we actually get a few. We don't pull in like what numbers people that get paid on YouTube get paid, obviously, but
no,
it's a happy number for us. Let's put it to you that way.
It's a number that we don't mind at all. Yeah, it's fine for us.
Fun for us. Hey, we got plenty of pinball to talk about today. So
yes,
let's start talking. First things first. Stern went and dropped something that I don't think any of us were expecting, which is they announced a new Black Knight table.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. It sounds pretty awesome.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing like having Scott Ian from Anthrax do the music for you.
Is that who's done it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. It sounds really nice. It's Black Knight 2000 with a really nice modern sort of semi-heavy metal twist to it. It's great.
Which, really great. Many people consider Black Knight 2000 to have the best pinball soundtrack. I respectfully disagree because it's clearly roller games. Which, if you listen to the two of them side by side, there's a lot in common between the two of them.
There's a reason, because it seems like, I think we talked about this in a couple of episodes, like very early on when we were doing the BlahCade, but the way that they were using those Yamaha chips is that they seem to agree upon a soundscape for each year that they were producing tables. So they say, oh, we want to have the bass sounding like this, and this is our instrument for the year, and then we'll have organs and stuff sounding like this. And it was very consistent across all the tables that were released in that year. And then what they do at the end of the year is that they throw out that sound palette and try and re-engineer the sounds and push that Yamaha chip more and more and more to try and get it to output different stuff and do really cool stuff. And that's why they always used to say they're basically getting the motorboat to 80 miles an hour. Because that chip it was a stereo chip, but they were using it in they were basically cutting the stereo function of it down to mono and then doubling the output of it. Okay. So they were using the extra channel to do extra sounds and actually get that chip to do things that it really wasn't architected to do, but they did it safely in a production way. It's very fascinating if you ever want to listen to how they did that System 11 sound.
See, I was just thinking it was because Steve Ritchie, in reading about this new Black Knight, what is it called again? Black Knight Rage, right?
Swords of Rage.
Swords of Rage. There we go.
Yes.
I just remember that because it says Rage. Those are the number, the letters that you need to highlight. No, Steve was saying that he is the one that did the initial composing of the Black Knight 2000 theme, and then they handed it off to somebody else. And so I thought, oh, well, maybe he did the same thing for roller games, and because that's one of his tables also. So maybe he composed the theme for that and then handed it off, and that's why maybe the two sound somewhat similar. But anyway,
actually, I think the head-to-head pinball guys did an interview with one of the sound engineers from Williams in probably an episode about 8 or 9 episodes back. I think his name was Steve Kordek, maybe. And he basically went into the detail about what he did and how they actually did the sounds on things like fishtails, and how it was a discussion. It's really worth listening to if you haven't actually listened to it. But it's a sound about how they built a sound landscape in games like Fishtails. Like, you don't really see that in games of today. Like the games that Stern have, for example, don't have this sort of layered sound approach that all the older Belly Williams games did. So, when you shoot the ramp on Fishtails, you get that that ascending sound, and then when it hits the exit switch, it actually has a different sound playing. All those sort of like little tricks, and like the buildup of the sound, like the escalating sound as you're actually getting higher and higher to get the monster fish.
Yeah,
that's sort of excitement building sound that was in those games in the past, which makes them subtly the reason why people like them so much. It's just not in games of today. They don't do that anymore. So it was a really interesting interview to see how they crafted the excitement in the game, not so much on the playfield. Of course, playfield layout's important, but it was actually the sound and how it worked in the game that made it exciting.
Interesting side note, when I'm playing one of those games that has those accelerating excitement kind of sounds, and I'm failing repeatedly to get there, I just mute the game. because honestly, I know it's affecting my trigger response.
Yeah, right. Because you're not getting it, and it makes you feel bad. Yeah.
Well, it's that. I mean, the classic example that I think the first time I became aware of what true sound design can do was in the movie Aliens and the motion tracker. Now they have the motion tracker in Alien, but in Aliens they specifically made the whoop whoop whoop, and they timed it to a heartbeat. So that when the aliens are getting closer, the heartbeat accelerates, and that cues you visually to also start feeling a racing of the pulse as you're watching it. Yeah.
Genius.
So that's why I say those sound cues in the pinball game, they will start making your pulse race a little bit more. So I'll just mute it, and then I don't have to feel that. And then it's amazing how often that works for me, that I'll just suddenly be able to hit the shots. Oh, okay, great. If I'm not hearing the countdown timer, like you want to hurry up mode.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Black Knight Swords of Rage.
What I referred to in my tweets about it is Black Knight 2019 because it's easier to say. Black Knight 2K19.
So it's interesting. It is a modern update of it.
Yeah.
But there are some things that don't exist in the old table that exist here. Now, let's talk about just the premium and the LE version right now.
Because the pros
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, Jared. Don't jump the boat. Okay. I
haven't actually seen the comparison chart. Have they got that up on Stern?
Yes. I don't know if they have it up on Stern. I saw it on IGN, I believe. Okay. But anyway, for the upper playfield, what they did was they made it Lexan, so you can see through it. Because underneath the playfield, there's pop bumpers, and there's an actual rear area to the playfield. It's not just that you're either on the upper playfield or on your lower playfield with a little horseshoe U-turn. There's actual stuff back there for your ball to bounce around on and do its business. So they did this Lexan playfield up there so you can see through it. And my initial thought was, ooh, that thing's going to get scratched up. Which then they made a point of saying how easy it is to remove, clean, and replace if need be. That it's literally a 3-minute procedure. So I thought, okay, that's interesting.
Well, that's very similar to the way that the upper playfield work on both Black Knight and Black Knight 2000. It was actually on a hinge system. So you undo a couple of key screws and the whole thing just tilts up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really nice.
They also changed what it is that is. Like on the regular Black Knight, that's where the pop bumpers are, and like I said, now pop bumpers are below. So all there is up there really is the flipper and the ramp that you're trying to hit for locking balls.
Yeah, lock ramp system.
Yeah,
that lock mechanism is interesting, isn't it? I've seen that in a game before, and it's not a real life game. It's a Zen game.
Well, what is it?
I
don't think I've examined. I don't think I've examined the lock mechanism enough to know what game are you referring to in Zen.
It's I think it's one of the. I think it might be that a Might of the First Order table that has that sort of horizontal locking system.
Oh,
that diagonal locking system where you sort of kick the balls up into there and it drops in. It looks really similar to that. From
People
what
getting ideas from digital.
Well, from what I've seen, like I haven't seen a super tight shot of it, but
Yeah.
it really does. It looks quite a lot like that. I'm just flicking through the pictures now to see if there's a closer look at it.
Now, of course, the main thing that they did was they threw a Black Knight right in the middle of the playfield. And in one hand, again, there's 2 lanes on either side of him. In one hand, blocking the lane is, it looks like a spinning mace, if you will.
Mace.
Or,
that's what it is.
That can block the lane. Now, I don't know if that is an actual spinner or if it is mechanically moved.
No, it's basically a spinner.
It is a true spinner. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the video play, and the balls hit it and spins around.
Okay. In the other hand, he's got a shield, and that I do believe is mechanical. You bash the shield, the shield will raise up, or block the ball for how you're going.
Yep, correct.
And apparently, they've done all sorts of lighting fun with the Black Knight's helmet.
Oh, cool.
And so there's LED lights in there, so it'll change based off of or like what he's speaking or whatever. I don't know. Different eye colors that are going on. And
very cool.
What I laughed about at the announcement, they're like, finally, we'll get to find out all about the Black Knight's backstory and all the stuff that's going. I'm like, I never even questioned that there was a story for Black Knight, but apparently there is now.
I love the fact that there's in the design choices of this table. I don't know who's done the art, but they've seriously taken some cues from the old table. I love the fact that the MagnaSave like text is exactly the same as it was on I think it was the first Black Knight.
Okay.
So if you have a look at the MagnaSave text, it's almost the same, or if it's not almost the same, it's taking huge homage from the old table to get that right.
And interestingly, the MagnaSave is using the old center stern button that they love to use so much, and not an additional flipper switch.
Yes.
So you are going to have to completely take your hand off the flipper.
Yeah, and smash it.
It'll be like playing Family Feud or something like that. You hand on the deck, you got the answer.
Exactly right. It's gonna. Well, I think people are pretty used to that now with the way Stern do their lockdown buttons. So that motion that you're gonna get people to do, I think that they'll be fine with that. Yeah.
Makes me wonder whoever designed Black Rose, because that has the exact same
fire mechanism.
I wonder if whoever it was that did the first Stern table that had that, if they're the same designer. Fun quiz. Go search for it, people. Go Google.
Yeah.
Let us know what you find out. So beyond that, I mean, it seems like it's fairly faithful, not just a reskin. Like I said, they've updated it a little bit here and there. Then there's the Pro version. And I do have to question, can you still call it Black Knight when there is no upper playfield?
I wouldn't think so. I think that's... I can't see pictures of I can only see pictures of the LE and the Jesus that look good. If I was to buy a pinball machine, I think it might be this one.
Really? I've never been a fan of Black Knight, so it doesn't really grab me much.
The thing is that it would be fine as long as they have taken the reliance off that one shot, which is what I also tweeted about when I saw the thing. It's like it needs to be like the whole, shoot the ramp to get it back up to the upper play field, and then if it drains, basically do that again over and over and over again. That's what made Black Knight. That's what I think made Black Knight a little bit not great.
Yeah.
But if they've rebalanced that, and the upper play field is almost like what you're striving to get to, not what you can just hit all the time. Like if you need to do stuff down the bottom to actually get up to the upper play field, it's like a special thing, then that actually makes more sense. And I think that will be exciting.
Yeah, the Pro version basically has a couple of different habit trails going on, and because nothing is going to get kicked up to the upper playfield. I have no idea how it locks the balls. I wasn't able to devise that based off the limited pictures that I saw from that. And obviously now shooting into that back area for the pop bumpers is, much more important or whatever. But I just really kind of went, oh, guy, already one of the things I think I don't care about Black Knight for much is it's essentially a half playfield game. And I've never been much of a fan of tables that are that kind of layout. I like a much longer throw to my games. And So now you don't even have an upper playfield. You've just got a back area. Essentially, it's shooting an orbit and seeing where the ball bounces, and then waiting for it to drop back down. I don't know. I don't know how that'll fly. But hey, there's been times before where the pro version actually wound up being like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
The pro version is pretty dang cool compared to the premium.
Yeah.
So,
but I think really the upper playfield on any Black Knight game is kind of like the standard.
Well, that's the trademark of it. I mean, it was the first of its kind to be like that.
You know, that locking mechanism up there is not going to feel the same as a virtual lock, because you can guarantee that's how they do it without the upper playfield up there. Like, it's just not going to feel right. It's not going to be Black Knight. I still can't find screenshots of the pro.
You'll find them eventually, and then you'll post them.
I don't actually want to see the pro, because I know that I'll just be disappointed and angry. So I'm not going to look for it. I just want to basically the only version that really should be available is the premium. That's basically should be the only entry level one. That's my opinion.
I agree. I agree on this particular table. Absolutely. Okay. Enough of that. We're going to go talk about some Zaccaria pinball right now. And then we've got a couple of other topics after that that are more frivolous in nature, if you will. So stick around for those, folks. But right now, let's talk about Zaccaria. I actually titled this episode based off of our question of how do you pronounce it? Is it Zaccaria or Zaccaria? Yeah. So that's why the episode is called "It's Levi-O-sa, not Levi-O-sa."
All right, okay, that's good to know.
For those of you that know the Harry Potter reference there. So with the Zaccaria pinball, there's a couple of things that we're going to touch upon. First off, we've had a go at it for now a good solid week. Yes. And the thing that I wanted to most check out was what is campaign mode. Did you happen to sample that, Jared?
No, I've had a shocking week at work this week. I've been this week coming up is my holiday week, because Zachary has had his leg surgery to straighten up his legs. So I had to get a lot of work done. I was working till like 12 a.m. in the morning for a couple of nights. I've had no time to do anything apart from work this week.
Good times.
Yes, but I'm going to make up for that this week when I'm looking after Zach and being at home and not doing very much at all.
Right. Well, campaign mode is, if for anybody that's played story mode, which story mode is included for free with the app. Or I shouldn't say the app. I'm going to say the app, but I don't mean that. I mean on the Steam version.
I think everyone refers to games now as apps.
Yeah.
So it's the
but this is what we're talking about. I'm not talking about any mobile version. I'm purely talking about Steam. And the way story mode works is basically they go year by year through each and every single table, and they give you a particular target that you need to hit. It's not a score target. It'll be specifically hit this pop bumper 3 times or hit this, drop target. Once you've met that goal, then you get to play the next table. And it just goes table by table through those. So it's kind of an interesting way of getting a quick sample of all the tables, except for it's not so quick when you consider how many tables that there are.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a lot in there now.
There's a lot in there. And as you progress farther, they throw in a few, another goal. So it'll be like, okay, you hit the 10 pop bumpers. Great. Now you also need to hit this drop target. And so we'll kind of do that.
Yeah.
What's fun about it is they also throw in the, I gotta say, this is one of the most fun modes that Zen has, which is you have to roll the ball over inserts to take out the lights.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, and it's really kind of it's kind of fun because you just see lights go out, and then when there was only a few left, that's what you're targeting for and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting way of going about that. Campaign mode is similar in that when you play a table, it asks you to, again, do a task.
Yeah.
Where it wildly is different is when you start off, you've got little tiny short flippers, a little tiny ball. You only have so many, they call it a flipper battery. So there's an energy bar on your flippers. So if you just hold the flipper up, energy bar goes, and when it hits 0, game over. You're done with that match. There's also a timer on the tables that I think is only like 25 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
So there's all these little parameters that go on, right? Now the first the first 3 tables, I launched the ball and I met the goal without ever flipping once.
All right.
That's how easy those were, right?
Yeah.
But then it starts getting progressively more difficult, and you need more and more control of the ball. And believe me, smaller ball, different physics with how it bounces around the table. So as you're earning or going through all these, you're earning coins, and you can spend these coins to make your flipper longer, make the ball bigger, give you more flipper time, give you instead of the ball draining and it being game over, now you have another ball that you can plunge. How many nudges do you get?
Right.
I'm trying to think what else did they throw in there. How many tasks do you have to do? Can you reduce how many tasks you have to do each time? You can increase the timer. So there's all these things that you can spend your coin to help you pass that particular table. And they have it kind of in a it looks like a bracket system where it'll be like, you beat this table, well, that opens up these 4 tables. Now you got to beat these 4 tables because they branch to a separate string of tables that you need to go through. And there's just all these campaign levels to go through, and it'll basically is going to run you through the entire gamut of tables. I mean, it is a massive. I start scrolling on to see how far this map goes, and this map goes a long way.
Yeah.
The fun of it is it really captures that just one more aspect, because, again, each match is only going to be 30 to 40 seconds long, or at least that's how long it is for me right now. And so you'll be bashing around. You're like, oh, I finally got those drop targets. Oh, now I got to hit the pumper. Oh, I ran out of time. Okay, I got to do that a little more efficiently, a little quicker. And it seems easy, but some of these tables, my God, I spent like 20 minutes trying to get past them because some of them are not easy. And again, it comes down to they're really not easy when the physics are different than what you were used to. So the first things I upgraded are getting myself the proper flipper length and getting myself the proper ball size, just so that I had a fighting chance on any of these.
That I think that would probably make a difference.
Yeah, it kind of messes with your head otherwise. But so it's interesting to play through it that way. Is it different enough from story mode? I mean, yes and no. In terms of, I can't remember how much campaign mode costs. I don't think it costs any more than $5. It might be like $2.99. I don't know. So it's more one of those things of, hey, if you're looking for a different way of playing Zaccaria, then
give it a shot.
Spend the money. If you really enjoyed playing story mode, certainly give it a shot, because you'll enjoy it equally the same, because now there's a little bit of strategy involved in how you do this. If you're the kind of person that finds all the daily tasks and challenges of Zen Pinball in the mobile app really frustrating, you're going to hate it.
Yes.
So, go accordingly. The other thing that I took a look at was the art editor. So the art editor, what it does is it gives you a playfield with... So you don't get to design the playfield, right? It is one of their tables, just basically devoid of artwork. So it's a whitewood, if you will, with insert lights, and the flippers are already placed, ramps are already placed, bumpers are already placed. But now what you can go through is you can do all the art yourself. You apply the art anywhere you want. Do you want the art on the playfield? Great, you put it on the playfield. Do you want different art up on the slingshots? Great, you put art on the slingshots. You can enlarge them, reverse them, shrink them, all manner. And there is, like, the first table that you get, I want to say, is that like Wild Rapids or something. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's Cowboys and Indians themed, if you will. Frontier. Surfing the Rapids? Okay. It's Frontier themed. So all the art that is there is all various Frontier art pieces, stuff that you can then place. You can also, I believe, change the shape of the inserts. And
shape of the inserts. Okay.
I think maybe it's either that or just the decal that would go around the insert. That's
Yeah.
probably more likely that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
all sorts of text that you can put all over the play field. I mean, there is a ton of customization, and so it's kind of fun because you can then create your own, look to the pin, to it.
Yep.
The bummer of it is, you have to play the table and score points, and those points are what you can then buy all the individual art pieces with.
Oh. Okay.
So they've turned it into a game. It's not just a straight up go in and edit the art, kind of situation. I
Okay.
don't know how I feel about that because I also don't know, because I barely had time to really delve into this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the only table. I don't suspect it is. I think that there's other tables that you'll get to do this with. What would be interesting is if you're able to do it with absolutely every single table design. But if that's the case, you're going to be having to play every single one of these tables to death to earn enough points to buy all the art to then go. Hey, like I said, if you're into building your own kind of, when you play these games, you get to build your own avatar and you like to buy all the different skins and clothing options and weapons and all that stuff. This is probably right up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just kind of thought, well, if you're paying the money for the art editor, why isn't it just there ready for you? As opposed to turning it into a game, which I don't know. Zaccaria has a different approach than everybody else. All their modes are different than what other pinball companies have done.
Yeah, that's like that. There's some really unique stuff in their offering, like that rollover the insets thing. No one has even thought of doing that.
Yeah.
So like that's very, very different and cool at the same time.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it holds some interest. I don't know whether that's necessarily for me, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time putting art on a playfield. I don't know. That's too tedious for me to do. But the functionality of what is there's a ton that you're able to do with, to make it your own. Now, unfortunately, how you navigate through, are you going to rotate the art, or which art piece are you selecting? Are you enlarging, shrinking, all that? You're basically using the menu system that is throughout the entire game. If you go into options and you see that whole menu down across the bottom and all the different options,
yeah,
you're dealing with that. And I've discovered what my problem with their UI is. And that is, when you back out, it's constantly asking, are you sure? And the thing that it's highlighting is no. So you're
really
always having to back out. And this is just throughout the game in general. You back out, it goes boom. Now you got to use the joystick to select your thing. You press, and then it goes, are you sure? And it's highlighting no, so you can't just push the button. You got to slap it over one more time and push yes. So you're constantly, it's never just a simple button pushes. It's not just back, and you're back to the main menu. It's always back, push a joystick, back, push a joystick. And
right.
where the boxes that'll get highlighted, and this is throughout all the menus, even when selecting tables or whatever, the box that's getting highlighted is never on the last thing that you selected. It'll always go to a default position. So you seemingly are always having to, you spend a lot of time scrolling and kind of go, and that can, in the editor, it kind of is off-putting because it's difficult to tell, wait, am I in selection mode or am I in menu mode? I'm not sure which am I. And so I made a couple of times where I was messing with it going, why is nothing happening? And realizing, oh, I don't have the art piece selected. I have this mode selected that I'm supposed to be futzing about with. So there's that kind of thing. It's but those are the two modes that I tried basically this week. With campaign mode, I was given a lot of the EM tables. And yeah, folks, if you're not playing Zaccaria Pinball and you're an EM fan, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
because they've got a ton of EMs,
and they're seriously good. Like,
So
they really, for me, I was saying this last episode,
yeah.
like they embody EMs really well. They're nuts. Some of the designs are absolutely on crack. And that's exactly how some of the early EMs were.
I was going to say that's not far off of what those were.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware of this, but they have the game out on the Switch. So I was like, okay. Let me download and see what it looks like on the Switch. Because again, the game came out on Xbox One last week.
Yes.
And I was told that it's basically the exact same thing on that as what's on the Switch.
Oh, right.
So I thought, well, hey, at least I can check it out on the Switch and see what's what.
Yeah.
As soon as the game loaded up, it threw me an offer. Hey, would you like 27 retro tables for $1?
You went,
the retro tables are these EMs. $1, folks. $1.
$1? Far out.
That's pretty good to all of a sudden have 27 tables then in front of you. Especially if you're an EM fan. Especially if you're an EM fan.
That would be an insta buy for me. Like that would be sure. Where's the button?
See, the Switch isn't mine, so it's not an instant buy for me. But if it was, and I checked out. Can you put it into vertical mode and play flip grip? Yes, you can rotate the screen. You got to go through some steps in order to lock the camera, because otherwise the camera will still bang about.
Okay.
So you got to go and put it into cabinet mode and lock the camera and kind of play with the perspective to give you a slight bit of perspective.
Around with it a little bit.
About with it. But once you got it, you're going to have your traditional pinball setup, which is nice.
That's real nice.
Also, the rumble on the Switch is way better than the rumble on Steam. Because on Steam, it was weird. I was like, I wonder how come I'm not feeling any rumble. I was like, this is odd. Normally, I always have rumble on. So I went and I checked, and sure enough, the rumble was turned off. And I was like, oh, let's turn that back on. I go to play. It rumbles as the ball is rolling.
Oh.
It's not when the ball makes contact. It's a constant rumble as the ball is rolling around, which I then immediately turned rumble back off. Whereas on the Switch, it was only when it was making contact with items.
Things. And that's very similar to how Zen have done theirs. I've got to hand it to Zen. Like if you're using an Xbox controller, which is my experience, and you're using if you've got vibration on the tables, like the Williams tables, it's so good. Like when you hit pop bumpers, that's pretty much one of the only times that it actually pulses and vibrates. And that's how it should be, because that's when you get most of the vibration on the table. Whereas I think I tried it on Pinball Arcade, and everything, like no matter what you're hitting, is just a long vibration, and that's it. Like it's not like a little short pulses.
Which is why they had to correct it for Harley Davidson, because your controller was basically rumbling nonstop and battery was getting drained like crazy.
Yeah, it's just I'd turn it off on old Pinball Arcade. Like it was just like, bye. That's a silly feature. Like if you're not going to bother implementing the feature properly, don't put it in at all.
Right.
But the one on Zen is perfect. It's exactly what you expect, right? And I'm really pleased that it sounds like they've done the same thing with Zaccaria, because it actually does make the game more immersive. It's really good when it's done right.
I'm just noticing here, thanks to our YouTube watchers, that campaign mode on Steam, at least in British pound, is $2.09. So yes, probably $2.99 US.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's probably like about $15 Australian, so that's normal.
A slight exaggeration, but you know,
it's only slight. Probably maybe a couple of bucks. No, we got 40% on everything at the moment because of our exchange rate. So it'll be like probably 5, which is still good value.
And I do gotta say, the Zaccaria Pinball looked really good on the Switch. I know what they're doing. They basically they came out with the Steam version, the PC version, and they're just porting everything over as much as they can.
It's essentially their baseline like development version that they then export, which I think is good.
And if they optimize the game properly, then it's not going to have an issue porting over to anything.
No, that's right.
So
the more I see the Switch, the more like there's some really interesting titles on it that aren't just the regular sort of Nintendo standards. There's some very interesting like pinball style RPG things coming out, which I think Zen tweeted about. and last week that looks really, really interesting. And like all the big names are on there now. Like before, it was a bit of a ghost town for pinball. Like you didn't really have a lot of choice on the platform. But now you've got Williams Pinball on there. You've got Zen Pinball on there. You've got Zachariah now. You've got I don't know the other titles. I'm sure the other people on the.
I think Yoku's Island Express is on there.
Yeah, Yoku's is on there. That's a great game. Then there's other ones on there that are actually exclusive to Switch too, which I think is this particular one that Zen was talking about last week was one of the ones that isn't actually on any other platform. So there's it's sort of, and they're not as expensive as they were. So I'm wondering if I should just maybe accidentally go and find one of those.
Oops! Look what fell into the cart, honey.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this flip grip got ordered, but there it is. Because honestly, if you're going to be playing pinball on the Switch, you need to just be getting the flip grip because you're not going to be
buy them though. Like because they were only Kickstarter.
Oh, wasn't only. So I thought it had gone to
retail now.
Retail. I mean, not in stores, but I thought that you could order it online. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You would though. Absolutely correct because it's the only way to play pinball.
I mean, if you're going to be playing
on the go,
on the go, and definitely you have the Switch, you're not going to want to play in landscape. You're going to want to play in portrait, and then you're going to want the flip grip to slide it into and go to town. So, and there's a whole bunch of, that's the other thing. It's not just pinball that's taking advantage of that. It's all these old school
shoot 'em ups and stuff.
Shoot 'em ups that are using that.
See, I would be in that like nothing else. I love a good shmup. You know me.
Yeah,
I would be all over that.
Well, and I just discovered, so if you have the subscription to the Switch, like it's kind of like having your PSN subscription or Xbox Live subscription. But they have what they call the NES Arcade, and it's just included. And you go to that, and it's all these old NES games that you can just play. And I was going through it, and I was like, oh, look, they've got Excite Bike, and oh, look, they've got Donkey Kong. Oh, look, they've got not Super Mario Brothers, just Mario Brothers, which is that old the platform with things spitting beasties out, and you having to bottom them from underneath and getting rid of them, clearing the level, one of those style things. And I was all getting excited about this, and my son was just like, oh, yeah, those games all suck. and so I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, they're super hard. I'm like,
it's like, yeah, welcome to the 80s, mate. Like,
these were games meant to suck your quarters up. It's not meant to spend a half an hour on.
We've actually got, I think Netherworld actually has Mario Brothers on the floor. Like it's a proper arcade game that was ported, and it's a little bit like Donkey Kong. In the way I've seen it, and it looks like it would be hard as nuts. Like I would, it would be designed to suck your quarters. Like you may as well just connect your bank account up.
It is, especially when you get ice levels, and so you can't stop on a dime. You slide. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yep. Yep. Classic 80s quarter sucker.
The funny thing is I was. Here's how long it'd been since I'd played, and how used to now I am with Mario. There was a turtle, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I went and I jumped on top of the turtle, and I died. I went, what the heck? It's because you have to bop them from underneath to flip them over, and then you have to knock them. You don't jump on them to flip them over. But that's how we're programmed today to know.
Yeah, that's right. And isn't that interesting that's like instinctive? Like that's I see a turtle, I have to jump on it. Right. Instead of going, hang on, I got to do something else. Like it's that that's sort of interesting how game mechanics and game.
I see a turtle, I need to jump on it to turn it upside down, the meanest thing you can possibly do to a turtle.
Yeah. Basically, you're the biggest a-hole ever, in the game. Hey, I've saw on the subject of Switch, I've seen a number of times now on Instagram. I get this, I've subscribed to this, I follow this channel. It's called Promo Pinball. And they've got this, basically it's a pin cab, but it is for Switch. So you've basically got this stand. It's like a freestanding thing that's designed to take a flat screen.
Okay.
And the flat screen, you just buy the flat screen. It comes in a flat pack. And you buy this thing, you slot the screen into it, and then you put your Switch in. It's even got little connectors for the Switch controllers. So they become your flippers. and you're playing all the pinball games on Switch, basically like a massive flip grip is what this thing is. Yeah, and it looks really interesting.
Huh.
And I think it's like I forget what it could be, a Brazilian company that makes it, but it looks really nice. Like it's very well put together, and it's not that expensive. I think you buy your own screen for it, and they just send you the wood.
Yeah, because the screen's the most expensive part of the whole work deal.
Exactly, but it looks really slick. I think if you were a Switch player and you wanted to have a bit of a pinball cabinet experience at home, this would be a thing. I'll link it in the show notes, and you can have a look. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, trying to think of other Zaccaria pieces that we can throw out here. I have word that the mobile app should be coming in 2019. And it's not just Android. It'll also be a brand new iOS app, too.
Very good.
Completely revamping even what's on iOS. Again, they're going to make it match what they've been doing currently with all the other systems.
Because iOS was ahead of Android in the features that it offered. Like I remember they had a bit of the stuff that was sticking to Switch, not Switch, Steam.
Okay.
And yeah, there was some elements in there. But it's good to see that everything will sort of be baselined and on parity. Yeah.
So they're working on the mobile right now. They also just this week got approval to make games for PlayStation 4.
Oh,
so excellent. Once they get done with the mobile app, then they'll go on to making the PS4 app. So I know that was a lot of questions that people had with, hey, what about the PS4? Speaking of questions, though, I actually have a list of questions.
Because we did put out questions on the forum, didn't we?
That did. So I'm going to run through these really quickly, and you can hear the answers. So question number 1. Zaccaria Pinball is coming to Xbox. Are all the tables from Steam going to be on Xbox? The answer, of course, all the new tables will be released for Xbox 2. The initial version will include all tables which have been released till Pool Champion 2018. Number 2, will there be any bundles or packs on Xbox? Yes, there will be 7 bundles in total. 4 remake table packs, 1 EM table pack, 1 SS solid state table pack, 1 retro table pack, and 1 campaign DLC.
All right.
The remake pack includes 5 remake tables per pack. The solid state pack has all 27 tables. The EM pack has 14 tables. The retro pack has 22 tables.
That's a lot of tables.
That is a lot of tables. 3, what will be the price of a single pinball table? On the Xbox, there is no possibility to buy standalone tables. You have to buy them in a bundle. And honestly, I think that's kind of the way everybody's going because, as Farsight found out, individual tables then cost more for them to do the upkeep and store maintenance on over time.
It's punishing, especially on console. Like they have to actually... I remember, I forget who it was at the time, one of the dudes, they were saying they have to upload this manifest file. It's like a spreadsheet. And it's just like...
And it's basically every single possible combination of sales that you can do.
Every single SKU that you offer.
Yeah.
That you have to put up separately as an item. It would just be, no, thank you. That would be a nope from me.
Will Time Machine still be free on Xbox? No, but on Xbox, the Space Shuttle solid state table will be free.
There you go.
Number 5, what will be the prices of the bundles on DLC? Campaign mode DLC is $2.99. Oh, see there. If I had read my own notes here. Campaign mode $2.99. Remake tables with 5 remake tables per DLC is $4.99. Retro table pack is $1.99. Solid state table pack is $14.99, and the EM table pack is $9.99.
Well, there you go.
There you go. When is the release date of Zaccaria Pinball on Xbox? April 3rd, 2019. Can Zaccaria Pinball run on any Xbox One variant? Zaccaria Pinball can run on any Xbox One variant without problems. Will all game modes from Steam be available on Xbox? At release, not all game modes will be available, but they might be added later. Campaign mode and story mode will be there at release. The story mode is free, and campaign mode can be purchased. Now the Xbox development is done on Zaccaria Pinball. Is it going to be released on any other platform? And we just touched upon that yeah, mobile, and they just got approved for PS4. Are there differences on the Xbox version? In other words, if you have an Xbox Pro or Xbox One S, I forget what they call their supermodel.
Yeah, right.
Retro tables are, let's see. Retro tables are not unlocked when you have the original version of the table. Oh, wait a second. I read that all wrong. Are there other differences on the Xbox version? The retro tables are not unlocked when you have the original version of the table. Retro tables can only be unlocked by purchasing the retro table pack. See, what I need to go down to here was down to this other thing, because I was reading that as that any plans to take advantage of the Xbox One X's extra processing power over the vanilla Xbox One, and it's currently no plans at the moment with this. So there's not going to be super high def versions available.
The thing is, the graphics are pretty crisp anyhow. Like, from what I've seen and playing on Steam, everything's really crisp anyhow. So I don't know. I think all right.
A few more. Will there be any trials before purchase? Xbox version has a free table, and each table has a score limited play. And I noticed on the Switch they have a monthly table that's score limited, and you can play on it for a very long time.
Right. It's a very high score limit.
It's a generous, right. Any plans on adding new Stars Phoenix? Is slightly different than the normal Stars Phoenix. No plan at the moment. We also have no plans on adding tables which are reskinned. This will only make the game more expensive and increase the chance for players to pick up the game that are not familiar with Mr. Pinball.
Right, okay.
Any plans to attempt to require the Mr. Game Technoplay licenses? Yes, we will try to get Mr. Game Technoplay licenses sometime in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Any plans to acquire a new license in general? No, not at the moment. And that is it for all of the questions.
Yeah, well, some good open answers there. I like that. Particularly about, plans for the future. Like, it's often risky to say, hey, yes, we'd like to go for certain table brands, because then other people with more money can just go, oh, that's nice. We'll also lock those down.
Right.
A little bit like Godzilla with the whole Spooky Pinball and Stern thing.
Precisely.
Yeah, so good on him for being transparent. I think that's pretty much what we expect from Magic Pixel anyhow. They are very open studio. So thanks for answering the questions, fellas.
Alrighty, let's move on away from them and into some general subject action, which is I have more data from my experiences with the Zen Pinball app. And it's been quite interesting. I'm now 11 days in, and basically what I've come to see, the important stuff. Zen coins. I'm earning on average 7 per day. So basically every 14 days, I'll have 100 Zen coins. That means in a month and a half, I'll have 300 Zen coins. Problem is if they're doing their every 6 to 8 week release, and they release 6 weeks from the first time, I'll have just unlocked, maxed out, and been able to afford the max out on 3 tables when a new pack drops. If it goes to the 8 weeks, I'll have an extra 100 coins.
Right.
So that's going to be really tight in terms of what you can earn. And that's me earning with all 4 challenges unlocked. So basic, advanced, pro, and premium. Interestingly enough, I rarely get coins out of premium.
Interesting.
Yes. So I get coins in all the other levels here and there. And sometimes I get phantom coins. It'll be weird. Like, I'm tracking my coins, and then I'll look at what my coin count is, and it'll be a couple higher, and I didn't level up, and I'm like, where the heck did those coins come from? So
okay.
I don't know. It might be, and I'm not 100% on this, but okay, there's a bug in the game, and I wish that somebody from Zen would respond to it. When you watch the video, if you ever watch a video that allows you to interact with the video, so in other words, kind of play the game while it's advertising to you.
Yeah.
On iOS, I don't know if it's this way on Android, but on iOS, it'll crash the game every single time.
I
So
didn't find that. I did that on one of the ones accidentally and touched the screen. I always never did it because I thought that it would actually just start loading the game.
even if you don't touch the screen, though, if you just wait it out for the 30 seconds and wait for the little X to appear in the corner, you push the X, it goes back to the Zen Pinball and just freezes. And eventually the game has to reset.
No, that's not doing that on Android. It's an iOS feature.
Yay. And it didn't used to be that way. So I don't know when this became a thing, but it's possible that you're still earning the reward. You're just not seeing the reward being given to you. I've also had, and this is in the premium version, and it happens every single time you do the 5-star reward and every single time you do the 15-star reward. So you have 3 cards across the top, 2 on the bottom. It always eliminates the upper right card. Does not give you a card to flip. I don't know if if it's just not there, but you're still earning whatever it is, just not seeing it or not. So that might be where these phantom coins are coming from. But like I said, on average, I'm doing 7 coins per day.
So I know that when you tap your loot box, when it starts shaking and glowing at you, as soon as you tap it on Android, your ticket count and your token count goes up automatically before you even flip the cards. So flipping the cards is just more of a visual presentation to show you that this is what you ordered. So it's crediting you your awards before you've even flipped. So yeah, it's probably doing that as well on iOS, I'd say.
Alrighty. Well, that kind of maybe answers that. The other thing that is of interest since I started this, again, I didn't have any table parts for the 3 new tables, which is Theater of Magic, Champion Pub, or Safecracker. I now have every single one of them upgraded to 3 stars. I'm working on my 4 stars. I've got 55 out of 100 for Theater of Magic, 24 out of 100 for Champion Pub, 44 out of 100 for Safecracker.
That's all just with playing the challenges once,
once per cycle. So one day, not recycling at all.
And when you say playing your challenges, you mean completing the challenges?
No,
because
I am completing the basic and advanced challenges every single time. I'm doing all 15. All the way up to 15 stars on those. Pro tables, I am for the most part making it all the way to the 15 stars, unless it happens to be something like One Ball Party Zone, which I hate. I hate One Ball Party Zone. Premium tables, I rarely am completing the 15 stars. Those
so
15
you're restarting?
What's that?
Are you restarting? Because you've got to pay to restart those, don't you? On the premiums, like you do pay tickets.
It's 25 tickets per game on premium.
All right. So what you're saying is you're not actually just going, oh, I'm just doing it. It sounds to me like it's sort of like you're doing the challenges, but what you're really doing is you're playing about 30 games.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about this for a second. People have asked me, hey, should I buy the premium pack? It's 200 coins and then I'll have the premium challenge every day. Folks, it's brutal. It is. It has it indeed, and I've been tracking all the points that you need for every single level. It has, without a doubt, the highest point requirements needed. Sometimes the 5-star requirement, I'm lucky to get past.
Right.
And then I just kind of go, do I even want to try for the 10-star? Or do I, is going to chew through your ticket collection. There's no doubt about it. So I was tracking how many tickets I had earned, how many tickets I could potentially earn if I did do the completion, because the reward, like the 10-star reward, you're talking about getting anywhere from 60 to 100 tickets by completing a 10-star.
Okay.
So that's pretty good ticket. I mean, it's throwing a fair number at you. But when you're paying 25 per play, that's only valid for 4 plays, and then you're now back into the hole. And that's not on top of Pro Challenge was costing you 15 tickets per play.
Yeah, right.
So before I always complete basic and advanced before I even start Pro and Premium,
because you get your tickets up.
Because I'll see my tickets and I'll look at my ticket count and I'll go, okay, you can spend about this many tickets, and then it's just like, why continue? because it's not going to be worth it. And again, I'm rarely getting coins, if at all. I'm taking a quick look. Okay, there has been occasion when I've gotten a coin out of premium, but
they're not
pretty
dropping
rare.
yeah, they're not dropping all the time. Which
No, they're not dropping all the time. What
kind
instead?
of expect, like, you know,
even what the 5-star reward in premium kind of sucks.
right?
It tends to be here's 2 ball trails. You know, like one flip is a ball trail, another flip is a ball trail, and then you get a ticket drop of like 60 tickets, right? Or it'll be here's a ball, here's a flipper, and some tickets. The 10-star reward tends to give you, and it's pretty consistent, 5 table parts.
Okay.
So if you're looking for table parts, that's where the big cash out is.
Payout is, yeah.
That's the big payout. I don't have enough data on the 15-star reward because I've literally completed it twice.
It's that hard.
It's that hard.
Right.
Sometimes, and I'm tracking what the point totals are that you need to get 15 stars. Half the time, that's all I'm trying to get is to the point that I'm at 14 stars so I can see what the 15-star reward is, just so that I know, with no intention of actually completing it, because I probably only have 3 seconds left to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, and the kind of challenges that you're having to do, it's survival, 5 minute, 5 minute, survival, survival, 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, and 1 ball.
Oh, jeez.
So a lot of 5 minute challenges, which to me are the worst.
Yeah, they're hard.
Oh, they're brutal.
Yeah.
Especially on some tables, like certain tables, they take a while to get the build-up going.
Yeah.
But other tables are very kind of like small, chunky, consistent things. And so as you get to the higher challenge of 5 minute challenge, it's a nightmare. You're like, oh great, I ought to hit jackpots as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm never going to complete this challenge.
And I know certainly it's like that on Safecracker. Like you just, like if you're trying to do daily challenges, like it's pretty much go into the board game, pray that you get landing on the dog or the alarm or something, and then start shooting.
Get out of the board game. I just dealt with that today. It was basic survival on Safecracker. And as soon as I got into the board game, I'm like, come on, dog, get me out of this thing. Oh, the guard wants a bribe? Too bad, I'm not bribing you. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Bailing you out. Because it's like, it's amazing, like just how long it takes to get through some of those dice rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially when you're exiting the first, like the more of the each of the entrances and you're going around to the actual circle. Like, it's just like, oh, yeah, ATM. And then guard is chasing you. Then guard rolls. That eats like 10 or 15 seconds. It's like, come on. And you're just pounding the button, pounding your screen, going, stop, fast stop, fast stop, fast stop all the time. Like,
so, yeah, for me, 1 ball party zone is a nightmare. Hate it. 5 minute getaway. Hate it.
Oh, yeah, that sucks as well.
5 minute getaway is just, I can do 5 minute survival. I mean, not 5 minute survival. I can do survival on getaway. 1 ball getaway is kind of brutal also.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No, but survival I can do, but 5 minutes just like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
You've got to basically get up to Supercharger and pray that you don't brick everything like I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, you get up to Supercharger and it's just drain. And then the ball kicks out and it automatically drains and automatically drains because you can't get control of the ball. 5 minute
fishtail, I can do the 5 and 10 star challenges pretty easy. It's the 15 star that just I'm so close, and I've been trying different methods, different scoring ways, how to get
Look, I just keep on shooting the long cast.
That doesn't work on 15 stars.
It doesn't.
You can't do it fast enough.
All right,
you just cannot collect fast enough.
Well, then you do your the way I would do it is you do your long cast, get it up to rock the boat, and then just start smashing that rock the boat over and over again.
Which is fine unless it's a 1 ball, because then you want no part of that center ball if you're doing a 1 ball challenge.
True. Well, the other option is,
but if you're doing 1 ball, then you got all the time in the world to shoot long cast. So
true. The other option,
there are ways around it.
The other lucrative thing that a lot of people don't realize is in video mode, if you nail enough boats, you get BS, not EB.
Yes.
BS is big score.
Yes.
That pays off real big time if you can get it. So you'll get 20 million points just for nothing if you can get that award.
Junkyard 5-minute is also scary. Because Junkyard doesn't have any giant totals ever.
No.
It's
really
all
all
just
about Crane Multi-Ball is a good one to get. Just Crane Multi-Ball, and that'll get you going.
It'll get you going, but it doesn't. Again, Crane Multi-Ball, each hit you're getting maybe 250,000 points. It's pretty weak. Regular Multi-Ball getting super jackpots, that seems to be about the only way that I know how to get huge. And if you can stack it with like Mamushka, then you're golden. That's like the ideal. It's like activate Mamushka, activate Multi-Ball. You're like, yes!
I'm going to be nice and let people in on a technique that I found with Mamushka, which I think some people might have already found. But
what's that?
You do realize that if you get Mamushka,
yeah,
you don't flip. You just let it drain, and you let it keep on hitting that spinner in the shooter lane, and you let it drain, and then you keep on hitting the spinner. Like if you're on a 5-ball, like unlimited balls, all you do is you get Mamushka and you don't touch the flippers. And you just let it do it next time and see what happens.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told you now that my colossal score and
it doesn't matter if you're in multi-ball or not.
No, in fact, it's better if you're not in multi-ball because it will just keep spinning and kicking out balls. The timer will remain at 20 seconds. and because basically your ball hasn't contacted any switch on the play field except for the spinner. And it will just keep going. I've actually been in a tournament.
Yeah.
And I go, come on, Mamushka, yes. And I go, right, I'm sitting back. I don't even need to touch the game. I put the phone down, wait for the tournament to finish, and I've won by default.
Does that work in real life, do you think?
I don't think so.
Probably not, because it's counting as a ball drain. It'll eventually count as a ball drain.
It will eventually, yes, but because
it's in our modes where it's just unlimited balls, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. So that is yes, a dirty strategy.
If only there was a way of ensuring what time machine year you're going to get, because
it's normally consistent. If you're playing a tournament, I think Mamushka is the thing that you get.
Oh, I get that stupid Night 2000 or whatever it is. Night Mission, which is the quickest hurry up you've ever seen. If you don't hit the shot like right away, Night Mission's over.
See you later.
Move your car. It's brutally difficult.
Yep. Yeah, it's like my least favorite mode on my least favorite pinball machine. It's the most lucrative point mode on that particular machine, Creature from the Black Lagoon, but it's my least favorite mode.
Yeah.
So that will be probably something that gets taken out of the game now that I've actually exposed it. So surprise. But yeah, next time you get it, try it out. You'll win.
Expose it in a basic challenge of Safecracker doing survival that you need to get to the 10-star? You need 450,000 points. To get to the
450.
Yes. To get to 15-star, you need 450,000 points. Which makes 15-star mode easier than 10-star mode because it's survival. So you're racking through the survival point. You need less points per level of survival in 15-star to advance it than you do in 10-star. So 15-star is actually easier. Go figure.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, look, folks, if you want to play along with the gathering data game that I've been doing and contribute your data to the greater cause, especially the point totals that are needed for each of the star levels, so 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, hit me up with an email on our email, which would be BlahCade@gmail.com, or you can message me in Steam. Let's just search Shut Your Trap. You can also message me on Twitter @ShutYourTraps. Send me your email, and then I'll send you the forms that I have, and then you can start collecting data for yourself, seeing how things. I'll send you all the numbers that I have, and you can kind of compare and see if the game's playing screwy with you or not. Make sure you also go and buy a T-shirt. Damn it! Those are at redbubble.com and search BlahCade. Make sure you follow the show on Twitter at BlahCade and the website as well, which is blahcadepinball.com/episodes. There you will find show notes and briefined show notes now, but as well as links and videos or pictures, whatever Jared feels like throwing up on there.
What it's not so much they're not so much reduced, they're just coarse show notes. They're not fine show notes. They're fine in the information they provide, but they're coarse.
They're standard definition. They're not ultra high def.
I tell you what, like since I've got that feedback, it takes like I had to do the podcast literally yesterday, and it was just find basically the area in the podcast where we talk about new things, and then just skip 2 minutes at a time until I get to the next one. Oh, there's the next index point. Good. What are we talking about in there? Put a couple of links in and stuff, and then get it uploaded. It takes a lot less time, and I don't really think people mind that much. So.
Okay, and now because you stuck around long enough in the show to hear this, and you didn't just turn us off the second you heard me start doing the socials, so it's a touch of a rant, but not much of a rant. But let's just say there are some things going on in the Digital Pinball Fans Forum this week. I'm not going to express who the individual was. I'm not going to express what the thread was. But to say that things got a little heated is about correct. But it's mainly this, folks. If you're going to come onto the forum and you're going to make an argument, and people then throw heaps, and then people throw heaps and heaps of evidence, both factual and theoretical, at you. At some point, go, hey, you know what? You guys might be right.
Yeah.
Your counter argument of nuh-uh doesn't work. So it was interesting. My frame of mind when I first saw it was, let's be helpful. And then when I saw the responses to that, it was, you're just a troll, aren't you? Okay, fine. Then I'm going to slap you down. And then when the responses kept on going, it was, okay, this has gone back around to just being silly. And I think we're just going to leave this here for posterity's sake so that everybody can laugh.
Yeah. Point and laugh. Point and laugh at the silly person.
Yeah.
With silly ideas.
So I'm just saying, if you're going to come and interact on the forum, we welcome debate, we welcome discussion, but there's got to be some give and take, folks.
Yeah. I mean, that's what forums are for. They're for airing a new idea or a new way of thinking. But if that new idea or new way of thinking is proven through discussion and discourse to be invalid, then keeping on talking about that idea is probably just going to get a lot of hate directed your direction, because no one likes to listen to someone whining on about the same thing over and over again. That's why I just go, I don't have any effort to exert on this thread anymore. I'm going to be unfollowing it and let other people feed the troll. So,
yeah, unfortunately, I was that guy, because every single time I was like, okay, I'm done. That's it. And then I read a statement. I'd be like, no, but I got something to say about, and then I jump back in.
Yeah. You are your own worst enemy, Chris.
Aren't I, though? I know.
Yes.
I know. As a friend of mine says, never post in a comment section. And I'm like, but it's our forum and I'm a moderator. I need to comment. He's like, never comment on comments. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
I am a forum member, and I'm also a moderator, and there's no way I was weighing into that discussion. No way. No. I can see that there was just no way that this person was going to change their mind. And when it gets like that, the easiest way to deal with a thread is just to let it wither and die.
Yeah.
And I recommend everyone let it wither and die, and the person with the empty thoughts will no longer have an avenue to air them. So starve it of oxygen, just like you do any organism.
But I like getting the last word in. And on that note, all right, folks. Hey, we really appreciate you spending time with us and listening. We welcome any and all feedback. And hey, go play some pinball, because at the moment, there's plenty of it, and it's all over the place. In all manner, free, pay, mobile, whatever console device you choose. Do you like 2D pinball? Do you like 3D pinball? Do you like, well, I don't think you can find crappy Atari 2600 pinball anymore, but there you go. It's all out there. Go have some fun. And if you can come across a real table, play one of those too. All right.
Yeah.
Until next time when we talk about stuff.
Like, which we don't know until it happens.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.